Hello, friends. This is Tara Bachland, creator and hostess of the Weight Free Wellness podcast, and the author of You-niversal Self-care, Improved Health Through Self-Understanding. And this is a bonus episode. I'll be doing these from time to time, just sharing some of my thoughts and experiences in my health and healing and wellness journey. And today I'm talking about a mantra that has really been one that has kept me on a healthy path for a number of years. And that is work with your body, not on it. So as you can hear, it's not necessarily a mantra like work out, you can do it, that kind of thing. My history in part was due to having actually some experiences where I was doing what I thought was healthy at the time, but looking back, I know was really destructive. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit of that story. So the mantra, work with your body, not on it, came to me as I excavated the messages of my own body and healing journey in my first book, You-niversal Self-care, Improved Health Through Self-Understanding. In this book, I share my journey from being an unhealthy child, that is, suffering from undiagnosed celiac and irritable bowel-like symptoms. So they weren't necessarily diagnosing. This was this was over 25 years ago. And at least in my area where I lived in rural Minnesota, they were not, if you can't tell by my accent, they were not diagnosing celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, even if they existed then. I'm not sure if they were technically on the books, so to speak. So, but looking back, I definitely can identify that those are the types of symptoms I was experiencing. I was also overweight. I weighed over 100 pounds at age 9 when my average classmate weighed 60 pounds. So that's a really big difference, especially at such a small size and age. My skin also nearly constantly pained me. It felt like it was being stretched at best and would crack and bleed at worst. And from the outside, my grandma even says today, you were such a healthy child. You look, just wonderful. You're just adorable. And part of that, I think, grandmas are supposed to say that. And I think she genuinely means that. But I had conditions that were really only really sensed by me. And that made it even harder to relay or even consider myself if I really had a condition that could be treated. And, I went to the dermatologist and they would just prescribe different kinds of creams, and that ultimately didn't work. So in addition to all this, at that age, I had the usual social pressures to look thin and be in style and to behave in a way that was similarly in vogue. And I think many of us can relate to that. I tried for some time to force myself to fit in. I literally starved myself in body and stretched myself in character, hoping it would all gain me more favor. It initially worked. My peers recognized me and saw me as fitting in more. Although, like how a little bit of makeup can look appealing, there's always a tipping point when too much effort becomes a disaster. Looking back, eventually my extreme measures to change my body and character looked clownish. There are more details in my book, so I will not repeat them all here, but what I will emphasize is this. In order to meet other people's standards, I harmed my body greatly. I deprived my body of vital nutrients for growth at a critical time during puberty, for which I have finally made up 20 years later. Now, on the other hand, there are positives that came out of this situation and this time. Going through that dark night of the soul experience was also manifested in my body. It wasn't just an emotional experience like a typical dark night of the soul. It really came out manifested also in my body. I became much more acutely aware of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual condition. It made me much more in tune with these aspects of myself, and that these do exist. Not only myself, I later realized, they exist in other people, of course. It is much more clear to me now what is truly healthy and health supporting and what is just fashion, and similarly in this realm. Now I have a deep reverence and understanding that what is good for one person may not be good for another. I have created a deep, healthy, healing relationship with my body, mind, emotions, and even spirit. It's as if these aspects are layers of my own self that can converse with and guide each other for overall wellness. I am much more acutely aware of my needs in these areas in order to be healthy and balanced. Going through this time of deep sadness and suffering, longing to be and become accepted, tired of being teased and left out, helped me to be more compassionate towards others suffering in similar ways. Most of all, I learned to become compassionate with myself. It is necessary, I now see, to start here. We innately treat others the way we treat ourselves. It's all that we know until we learn otherwise. We are our own learning grounds. Now, I deeply urge you to learn to work with your body and not on it. And it's a challenge because in our society, we are taught, we are shown, use this diet, use these products, exercise this way, put this on to look slimmer or look better. And we are always, it seems like we're treating ourselves like a customizable vehicle instead of seeing ourselves as a part of ourselves, like we are a part of our body, not something that we are not separate from our body. So yes, there are times that we need to push ourselves, get outside our comfort zone, even to create healthy changes. It's healthy in most cases to break a sweat, run out of breath, or work out so hard that you are sore the next day. Stress initiates change, even healthy change. What is not healthy is when we have unreasonable goals and ideals. For example, when I wanted to be the same size as children my same age who weighed 40% less than me, now that's nearly half my size, I was putting unreasonable stress on myself and did not have healthy motives. As an adult, I have to remain focused on building and supporting my body with nutrition, balanced exercise, and attribute training so that I am working towards the best version of me that I can help come forth, rather than jury-rigged version that I might be able to create based on what the media and my peers are promoting. So here are some tips on how to work with your body. So first of all, set a goal with a health-oriented result. Setting a weight as a goal makes you unreasonably focused about weight, which can fluctuate on a daily basis and even increase when you begin healthy habits like working out, when you build heavier tissues like muscle. Set a single goal. What I would recommend and what I've done for myself is set a single goal like eating whole foods for a month. And you will be surprised at the effects that happen, which can even include weight loss. It will just happen when those are healthy, health-oriented result goals. Now, you may think, I'm just going to add a caveat here, you may be thinking, well, my doctor says I need to lose weight. Isn't that a health-oriented result goal? And you could imagine that it is, but there are things that you need to do along the way anyways, that losing the weight is the result of doing those healthy habits. So that's where I focus on make those habits the goal, make those the health-oriented result. The result being eating a certain way that you know is healthy for you for 30 days. And the result, the added benefit will be the weight loss. And you'll truly be becoming healthy rather than using weight as an indicator, because weight is just a symptom. But that's for another podcast. 2, when you commit to a new or renewed goal, don't make a big deal out of it. The more you build it up for yourself and others by sharing with them, the more emotion you put into it. And if you don't meet your goal, the more of an emotional crash you're likely to experience. Treat it like it's something you're doing because it needs to be done, like going to the grocery store or brushing your teeth. It may not be pleasant at first, but it's necessary. And so your mind can convert it to just something that you're doing because it's a healthy habit, like brushing your teeth. 3, give yourself time. How long did it take for your body to get to the condition it's in? What if it took that same amount of time to heal? It is more likely that it won't take that amount of time. But if it did, at least you would be getting healthier and feeling better along the way. So the beauty is that there is no one else like you, and we need you to be you. Everybody plays their own special role in this world. I encourage you to support your body, mind, emotions, and spirit so you can be the best version of you possible. How amazing would that be? I wish you well. The show notes, if you want to refer to these in writing, is at weightfreewellness.com. And this is episode 16. And there's all kinds of goodies on the website as well. You can find my list of favorite remedies. You can take my body typing quiz. It's all for goodness and wellness. And I wish you well. Take care.